Hey, this is Victor from VR Speed Shop. Today I'm going to tackle the tube subframe on the Model A Ford Hot Rod project. So stay tuned, like and subscribe if you like the video. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, I got the both the sides nailed in. Welds don't look that great, but it doesn't really matter. They're gonna get ground flush and polished and then painted, so it is what it is. Had a few gaps on that one because I overground, but clamped everything down, pulled it in place to the top and bottom rails, and I think it's looking pretty good. So now, to see if I can pick this thing up. All right, see how this works. Should work good. Got the battery hanging there off of a chain. The 2,500 pound winch. And I'm gonna pull the body off the Model A so I can get to all the patch panels easier. And yeah, I'm gonna put it on some sawhorses. It's up off the ground. I can sit in a chair. Can TIG weld right here instead of leaning down. Okay, getting ready to lift the body off of the Model A so I can continue with the patch panels. Got that patch panel, got to redo the door. Got the other side, rear part behind the door, and then I got to weld that patch panel over there. So I got the structure on the inside welded in, at least on the top side, right here where it connects to the back. Right here. So right now I'm going to lift it off. Probably going to use this crossbar and this crossbar. Maybe that one and that one. And then lift the body off of the frame. So I got my battery hanging out there. And then I got my winch over here. So that's the setup. Should work good. Should be just enough height to where I can winch it up and I can put it on my sawhorses. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works. Okay, that's about where that's going to be at right there. And then I'll winch it up. That's the next plan. The center of it is right about, I think I could probably go a little bit this way. So I'm thinking center of gravity is probably right in here. So I'll just go forward just a little bit more. Okay. Now I need to figure out how I'm going to do some rigging here. So I'm going to turn this off and I'll reset up. Okay. Woo!
Frame, get this frame done. That's also the reason I took it off. I have to obviously finish up the rear end. I have my rear mounts that I need to mount onto my Dana 44. So I'll be having to set the pinion angle of the rear end. So I need to do a little research before I do that, make sure I'm doing everything correctly. And then I'll weld this bracket on. I might modify the bracket. I'm not 100% sure. I made these a while ago. And had it just sitting here on blocks for a long time. So, but you can see the frame was a TCI frame. I did a kick up in the rear. It's about 8 inches or so, maybe 10. And then I did a it's got a T5 transmission. It's got the adapted bell housing out of a truck. These are temporary right here, but you can see down here, I pie cut it and did a sweep on the front of the frame so I could get a 5-inch sweep on the front. And then up here, I got my tube axle. It's about a 4-inch drop, and I put my brackets on. And it's got a spring off of a gasser from Speedway. It's like a gasser spring, so there would be 2 on a 55 Chevy. So I got to finish the welding here for the clearance for the radiator, cap these off, build my new brackets there, and then everything's been sitting and live in the Pacific Northwest, so everything gets rusty really easily. This has just been sitting with no paint for 2 years maybe. Anyway, so that's the overview of the chassis, what needs to be done to the chassis. There's some welding here, some welding up front. I'm gonna probably put the stock intake on it and try to get it fired up. As you can see, I can get to my patch panels. So it's still fairly high up, but that's the plan, is to be able to do these, weld them up. And I didn't know that there was a hole right there, darn it. So anyway, I'm gonna do my patch panels. Got a patch panel here. I'm gonna need to redo the rear part of the wheel wells. And then I got a floor to do. So I got a lot of work to do.